My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is my review for the WWE Elimination Chamber for 3/8/20, almost a month ago now. The pre-show, you don't have a whole lot going on. You got Ruby Riott on the panel, cutting a promo. You got Miz and Morrison. They cut a promo. Aleister Black cuts a promo. Braun Strowman interview. R-Truth then comes on the panel. I mean, really, this is just a bunch of quick segments. So there's really not much to it. The only match you get is the Viking Raiders versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Like, what the fuck? We already know who's going to win. This is a pointless match if ever there was one. They just threw something on there. Viking Raiders win. No big deal. Then you get Andrade and Zelina being interviewed, and then an Usos package. Let's move on to the main show because the pre-show was kind of pointless. I actually liked the main show. There were definitely some things people had a problem with. There are definitely things that people had a problem with. I did not. I thought you start out hard out the gate, and I mean hard out the gate with a really good match between Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak. Absolutely phenomenal performance by both of these guys. There were so many shots to Daniel Bryan on the back of his head, the back of his neck, some really hard snap suplexes, man. I mean, this match really looked authentically painful. Really, really good all the way around. Drew Gulak really made a name for himself in this match, I think. Daniel Bryan gets the win, but I think it didn't hurt anybody in this match, honestly. Then you get a Dolph Ziggler-Bobby Roode interview talking about, they're going to be in a chamber match later with Heavy Machinery. Whatever. Andrade with Zelina Vega versus Humberto Carrillo. I mean, you knew this was going to be a good match. I mean, that's it. Like, this was going to be a barn burner of a match, and it was. And these two are just incredibly, incredibly talented guys. I actually don't even remember who won the match. I want to say it was Humberto. I want to say Humberto Carrillo won the match. But I remember it was very good, very talented. Charlie interviews AJ Styles. No big deal there. He's facing Aleister later. SmackDown Tag Team Elimination Chamber is next. Miz and Morrison versus Roode and Ziggler. Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado from Lucha House Party. Heavy Machinery, New Day, and the Usos. They had some cool moments in this match, and this is a match that a lot of people seem to have a big problem with. Like, there was so much about this that got so much hate. Especially the Otis, Dolph Ziggler storyline and how at one point Otis just kind of like knocked himself literally out of the Elimination Chamber onto the ground and kind of took himself out of the match. And they were upset because they didn't do anything with that storyline. But to me, I'm not into that storyline in the first place. So it doesn't really do anything. I thought they had some really good spots with Lucha House Party. And unfortunately, after one, probably the best spot in the match, which was... one of the guys from Lucha House Party was on the top of the cage hanging and then does like his own version of like a shooting star press from the top of the cage. I thought was really, really good. And then, of course, they get knocked out like 30 seconds later. But yeah, man, really good spots. I enjoyed the match. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. At the end of the day, Miz and Morrison retain. Hey, no problem. Morrison, super, super talented, man. Really a big fan of his. So after that, you have Natalya interview. She's going to be in the Women's Elimination Chamber. AJ Styles with Gallows and Anderson then takes on Aleister Black. And since this is no DQ, Gallows and Anderson keep getting involved. Aleister Black is fighting an uphill battle. Eventually, The Undertaker comes out, takes out everybody. Aleister Black capitalizes, gets the win. I'm a big fan of Aleister Black, so no problems there. Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy with, of course, AOP. And so this is, I think, at the point where Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy were still the Raw Tag Team Champions. Decent match for what it was. The big story here is that Kevin Owens comes down at a point later in the match. He hits a stunner on Seth Rollins while there's a bunch of commotion. The Street Profits capitalize and become the Raw Tag Team Champions. So that was a pretty big moment there. I like that. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good ending. Kayla interviews Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura because they have a match with Braun Strowman. And, Sammy's guaranteeing that one of them are going to walk out the Intercontinental Championship. And so Braun Strowman, he's already got the odds stacked against him. And that's all it was. It was a 3-man beatdown. Braun Strowman played the He-Man bit for a little while, but it didn't last. The numbers game caught up to him. And then they let Sami Zayn get the title. I think it was Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa, and they let Sami get the win. So Sami won the Intercontinental Championship. And, you know, as far as that goes, Sami Zayn, he's a damn good in-ring performer. I do not like his shtick. I do not like his gimmick that he has right now. I think it's just annoying and not very talented. I'm not a fan. But in-ring, I really, really like Sami Zayn. And I wish they would let him just be him and, you know, do what he does in the ring. And for some reason they don't, but I think they should because he is that damn good. Then you get the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber. Asuka versus Liv Morgan versus Sarah Logan versus Ruby Riott versus Natalya versus Shayna Baszler. Becky Lynch watching on the monitor. Shayna Baszler dissects everybody in this cage. Once she is in there, she eliminates every single other competitor, which has never been done in an Elimination Chamber before. And it was kind of slow paced because she would just tear somebody apart and then you'd have to wait for somebody else to come out. And so it was very slow paced in that respect, but it made her look like a beast going into the fight with Becky Lynch, and that's what they needed to do. So I actually liked what they did with the Elimination Chamber and Shayna Baszler quite a bit. So honestly, like I said, I did not have the problems with this pay-per-view that some people did. Going back to the first Elimination Chamber match, I thought it was good. I really liked some of the spots there, and I thought it was a spot match. It wasn't a storyline match. So it served its purpose. Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, really good. Aleister Black, AJ Styles. I really liked that they gave Aleister Black the win, and they had the Undertaker bit in there. They're doing a couple of things. Andrade, Humberto, really good. The last match, they did what they needed to. So, yeah, dude, I really actually kind of enjoyed this. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was not perfect. It definitely, had some issues there. But overall, it was fun. And that's all I cared about. 7 out of 10, that's where I'm at. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation, out.